Alma, chapter 2. Amasai seeks to be king and is rejected by the voice of the people. His followers make him king. The Amalekites make war on the Nephites and are defeated. The Lamanites and the Amalekites join forces and are defeated. Amla slays Amasai about 87 BC. And it came to pass that in the commencement of the 5th year of the reign there began to be a contention among the people for a certain man, being called Amlici, he being a very cunning man, yea, a wise man as to the wisdom of the world, he being after the order of the man that slew Gideon by the sword, who was executed according to the law. Now this Amlici had by his cunning drawn away much people after him, even so much that they began to be very powerful, and they began to endeavor to establish Amasai to be a king over the people. Now this was alarming to the people of the church, and also to all those who had not been drawn away after the persuasions of Amasai, for they knew that according to their law that such things must be established by the voice of the people. Therefore, if it were possible that Amasai should gain the voice of the people, he, being a wicked man, would deprive them of their rights and privileges of the church, for it was his intent to destroy the church of God. And it came to pass that the people assembled themselves together throughout all the land, every man according to his mind, whether it were for or against Amasai, in separate bodies, having much dispute and wonderful contentions one with another. And thus they did assemble themselves together to cast in their voices concerning the matter, and they were laid before the judges. And it came to pass that the voice of the people came against Amasai, that he was not made king over the people. Now this did cause much joy in the hearts of those who were against him. But Amasai did stir up those who were in his favor to anger against those who were not in his favor. And it came to pass that they gathered themselves together and did consecrate Amasai to their king. Now, when Amasai was made king over them, he commanded them that they should take up arms against their brethren, and thus he did that he might subject them to him. The people of Amasai were distinguished by the name of Amasai, being called Amlicites, and the remainder were called Nephites, or the people of God. Therefore, the people of the Nephites were aware of the intent of the Amlicites, and therefore they did prepare to meet them. Yea, they did arm themselves with swords, and with scimitars, and with bows, and with arrows, and with stones, and with slings, and all manner of weapons of war of every kind. And thus they were prepared to meet the Amlicites at the time of their coming. And there were appointed captains, and higher captains, and chief captains, according to their numbers. And it came to pass that Amasai did arm his men with all the manner of weapons of war of every kind. And he also appointed rulers and leaders over his people, to lead them to war against their brethren. And it came to pass that the Amalekites came upon the hill Nehu, which was east of the river Sidon, which ran by the land of Zarahemla, and there they began to make war with the Nephites. Now Alma, being the chief judge and the governor of the people of Nephi, therefore he went up with his people, yea, with his captains and chief captains, yea, at the head of his armies, against the Amalekites to battle. And they began to slay the Amalekites upon the hill east of Sidon. And the Amalekites did contend with the Nephites with great strength, insomuch that many of the Nephites did fall before the Amalekites. Nevertheless, the Lord did strengthen the hand of the Nephites, that they slew the Amalekites with great slaughter, and they began to flee before them. And it came to pass that the Nephites did pursue the Amalekites all that day, and did slay them with much slaughter, insomuch that they were slain of the Amalekites 12,532 souls. And there were slain of the Nephites 6,562 souls. And it came to pass that when Alma could pursue the Lamanites no longer, he caused that his people should pitch their tents in the valley of Gideon, the valley being called after that Gideon who was slain by the hand of Nehor with the sword. And in this valley the Nephites did pitch their tents for the night. And Alma sent spies to follow the remnant of the Amalekites, that he might know their plans and their plots, whereby he might guard himself against them, that he might preserve his people from being destroyed.